Well, good afternoon, everybody. Now we go ahead and reconvening into the open session of today's meeting of the Board of Supervisors. And clerk, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Abakoga?
Here.
Supervisor Jung?
Here.
Supervisor Ellenberg?
Here.
Vice President Arenas? Here. President Lee?
President, good afternoon. And would Supervisor Ellenberg, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I'd be glad to. Please stand if you're able. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And then moving on to item 7, which is the approval of the items we'll be presenting today. May I have a motion to approve so we can move on to ceremonial presentations? Supervisor Ellenberg.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Let's go take the vote.
Supervisor Abakoga?
Aye.
Supervisor Jung?
Yes.
Supervisor Ellenberg?
Yes.
Vice President Arenas? Yes. And President Lee?
Aye as well.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. So now, moving to the exciting part of our program today, presenting our proclamation commendations. So we start with item 8A, which is presenting a commendation for Jean and George Guglielmo and the Guglielmo family for their service on the Florence Commission and the Century of Cultural and Community Contributions. Please. So today we are gathering to honor a family whose name is truly synonymous with community heritage and dedication here in Santa Clara County, the Guglielmo family of Morgan Hill. At this time, I would like to invite the family members to join us in the dais: George, Jean, George's wife Jan, and Jean's wife Laura. Please come on up. Come on up. Get to face them. Welcome. Thank you. I'm George. Great to meet you. All right. Well, for more than 1 century, the Guglielmo family has carried forward the art of Italian-style winemaking ever since the vineyards were founded in 1925. They have preserved the family's heritage with pride and craftsmanship, helping shape the agricultural and cultural identity of our region. Their contributions extend far beyond winemaking, though. See, Jean and George have each served on the Florence Commission, dedicating time and leadership to strengthen the cultural ties between Santa Clara County and Italy, Firenze. The family has generously opened their stunning venue to host Italian delegations, community events, and fundraisers that directly supports the Commission's mission. Their hospitality and community spirit have enriched our cultural life and welcomed countless residents, organizations, and performers from afar. And I will now read the final clause of our commendation, which is whereas the Guglielmo family long-standing cooperation and hospitality have made a meaningful difference in promoting Italian culture and supporting the Foreign Commission's mission. So now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Supervisors of County of Santa Clara does hereby recognize and commend Jean and George Guglielmo and the family for the service on the Foreign Commission and the Century of Cultural and Community Contributions. And at this time, I'll invite George and Jean to share a few words. Please come on up. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. Actually, my Vice President also have a few words to say first. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. They are in my district, so I would love to show them off and show off some of the wonderful work that we have done together. And I hope that we can continue to do this upcoming year. And I want to thank you, President Lee, for inviting Jean, George, and the Guglielmo family, as well as myself. We have this privilege today to recognize this family who has really woven into the history and culture and identity of the south part of our county. How many of you here have gone to the Guglielmo winery? Guilty as well. It is not just a social place, it's not just a winery, and it's not just a business, but it's really a family inviting you to be part of their very long tradition of winemaking, something that was brought to them through a lot of community pride, a lot of heritage, and some really great recipes and some really great grapes. And what they have done in our south part of our county is offered their space not only for of course themselves as a winery, but it is a beautiful outdoor venue to host community gatherings, nonprofits. I know the Healthy Kids Foundation always has their annual. I mean, there's so many folks that have their annual fundraisers over at your winery. And then what we did when we tried to, we had a Viva Calles version of the event in Morgan Hill, and we ended that Viva Calles at your winery. And so everybody came and had that celebration at the very end. And so this is what the Guglielmo family does, is they really integrate everyone else into their space, provide an opportunity to come together, and yes, have a little bit of wonderful wine. But more than anything, what they've done is extend their generosity and hospitality and made it a really meaningful opportunity for everybody to come together. So I'm really proud to recognize Jean and George Guglielmo, the entire Guglielmo family, for their century of service, cultural leadership, and deep commitment to District 1. Let's congratulate them, because this is 100 years, everyone, and we look forward to an additional 100 years that celebrate diversity, strength, a sense of belonging, and for that grape to get grape. Thank you so much, and let's give them a big round of applause. We're going to turn ourselves around and have our back to you for a minute.
I'll let Jean and George say a few
Oh,
words,
I'm so
please.
sorry. Yes, now I did the same thing the president did. See, just following my president's footsteps, of course. Come, please share with us.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for being here, and thanks for the recognition of our family and of our winery.
So we'll talk next to him
Yes.
since we're, rather than waste everybody's time. Go ahead.
So being on the Florence Commission was a great experience for myself, because I met some great people, was able to work with some great people, and we put on some great events. Also, we had a couple delegations come over, and we had a couple go over to Florence. So I was lucky to, and my brother went with me on the first time that we went, and we had a great time. We're very proud of our Italian heritage, and this was a way to express that and work towards expanding the knowledge of what the Italians actually contributed to Santa Clara Valley. So for all of those that didn't raise their hand, I want to invite you to come and visit the winery. We treat everybody like family, and we have some great wines that George produces. So I also want to thank the supervisors for the recognition, and haven't gotten the plaque yet, but I see it here. It's beautiful.
It's coming.
I don't know if I'm going to get it, but
It's coming. It's coming.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you very much for this honor and being recognized. We didn't do this to be recognized. We did this because of our heritage being Italian. My grandparents came over through Ellis Island in 1909. At San Francisco, bought the property in Morgan Hill in 1925. You weren't supposed to make wine then, so we just made a little bit, transferred it
Just a little
all the
bit.
way to San Francisco, because French people, and my grandparents spoke fluent French as well as Italian, because they came up in the northern part of Italy. And French and Italian, every time you sit down a meal, there's wine there. So anyway, I could go on and on, but thank you very much for the recognition, and again, thank you again. Thank you so much.
So before we take a picture, I heard that there's the members of the Florence Commission who are here who would like to join us with the picture. Please come up as well. Okay, now turn around, facing this way. Come on. Face this way, yeah. This is the middle. Oh, it's not a middle. You should be in the middle, in the front. Exactly. Right here. There you go. Come on up.
We need to get you in the front.
Just want to say one other thing. Gene and myself were both born in San Jose, right down the street at San Jose Hospital, which is not San Jose Hospital anymore.
Hey. Thanks again.
Absolutely. I'll have to come visit you now.
Yeah,
That's
always welcome.
Looking forward to it.
Give me a free glass of wine.
There we go.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that.
Right there. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you.
It's just for me to
Thank you.
But the good ones. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jan, this way, that way.
Okay, next we are presenting a proclamation declaring May 2026 as the Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in Santa Clara County. This is a time when we honor the rich contributions and diverse histories, enduring legacy of the AANHPI communities right here in Santa Clara County and across the nation. I would like to also invite my colleagues for this item, in this case, Vice President Arenas, Supervisor Young, Supervisor Margaret Bikoga, to please come up. And this time I would like to also invite our guest to the dais from APIEC, Brain Thamavong, Misuk O, Indira Anupindi, and Cindy Hyun. And from VASC, Ha Ni Tran. And thank you for all your leadership for joining us today. Please come on up. Welcome. This month reminds us just how deeply the ANHPI communities have shaped our country. Today, more than 24 million Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders call the United States home. Their influence is woven into our cultural, social, economic fabric. And right here in Santa Clara County, ANHPI residents represents nearly 39% of our population. We reflect this month on the historic histories and the traditions that define the ANHPI experience, from the earliest Filipino settlers arriving in 1587 to Chinese workers who built the Transcontinental Railroad, to the generations of service members who defended our nation, to the extraordinary leaders in science, technology, arts, and culture, including more than 60 Nobel Prize recipients. This year, our community celebrations have continued that legacy. This past weekend at the History Park offered an opportunity to enjoy the performances, cultural activities, and community resources. Our SSA, ANHPI Heritage Month celebration, also hosted by APIEC, embraces the theme, United in Hope, connected in community, bringing people together and strengthening the bonds across the agency. All these efforts highlight the vibrant role of our ANHPI communities across the local businesses, technology, agriculture, education, medicine, and government, and also the arts as well. Their leadership and service continue to build and enrich the county as we call home. I will now read the final clause of this proclamation that says, whereas, in recognition of the many contributions and achievements of the ANHPI community in local business, technology, agriculture, academia, medicine, government, and the arts in Santa Clara County, we wish to celebrate the service, leadership, and impact of the ANHPI community in building, protecting, and representing the United States. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Supervisors of County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month in Santa Clara County. Before we invite our staff to speak, I would like to offer my colleagues here, including, let's say, Supervisor Young, as well as Abikoga, would like to say a few words.
Thank
Please.
you. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Betty Young. I'm one of your supervisors, and together with Supervisor Margaret Abikoga, we are the two first Asian American women to ever be elected to Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors. So Santa Clara County is home to deep heritage in the AA and HPI community. We are the home to 3 former Chinatowns, with the 3rd Chinatown and the last one being lovingly referred to as Heinleinville, when a Mr. Heinlein donated land to Chinese residents when all other Chinatowns had been burned down by mobs. And they were able to live there in peace through the kindness and generosity of a benefactor. We are also home to one of 3 remaining historic Japantowns left in America, where once we had thriving Japantowns across the whole country. I'm very proud that in San Jose, our Japantown survived the Japanese internment of World War II and was not eradicated from our maps. We are also home to Manila Town, where the Delana Malangs gathered and also helped launch the United Farm Worker Movement with their Latino brothers and sisters in the fields. AA and HPI history is Santa Clara County history, is American history, it's immigrant history, it's women's history, it's the history of resilience. That is the fabric and the values that keep together our American dreams and our future. So it is with great honor and distinction, I would just say the greatest privilege of my life to get to represent also my Vietnamese American community as an Asian American woman here in Santa Clara County, because we're also home to the 2nd largest Vietnamese population outside Vietnam, with one of the best, the best Little Saigon. To my fellow Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, to my colleagues at the county, to our friends and cousins across all immigrant communities, thank you for being a part of the Santa Clara County way of acceptance, of diversity, and creating a county and a community that's truly welcoming and belonging to all. Happy Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Month.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy AA and HPI Heritage Month. I'm happy to be the second half of our duo here, as well as the first Japanese American woman to serve on this Board of Supervisors. And from enduring exclusionary immigration laws and labor exploitation to overcoming displacement, discrimination, and violence, this population has long relied on the strength of solidarity to persevere and rise. And we as AA and HPI residents, making up now almost 40% of the county's population, deserves the recognition of our historic contributions and continuous impact. As the federal administration continues to wreak havoc and division in our country, our joining together serves as a vital form of resistance. We protect our progress by showing up and remaining visible. When forces work to erase our identities, we must anchor ourselves in our origins. And that's what we're doing today by proclaiming this month as AA and HPI Heritage Month. It's an honor. Earlier this month at the beginning, I had a AAPI, ANHPI Heroes Luncheon where we recognized 5 of our community leaders in District 5 across all different sectors, mental health, media, law, and cultural preservation. And their heroic work spans all these different sectors, each uniquely advancing equity and cultural understanding. And this is a reminder that our community impact has no single path and why representation is powerful. And speaking of representation, with our board president, Otto Lee, and Supervisor Young and myself, we have the distinction of having a majority AAPI Board of Supervisors, I believe the only second one in the country. And so it's, again, a real source of pride to be able to represent our community. And frankly, this is something I never imagined as a child growing up just up the way in San Mateo with my immigrant parents. I would have never expected this demographic makeup and this representation, but it's a time for us to be able to celebrate the progress that we've made in our community. So I just want to wish everyone again happy AANHPI Heritage Month. Thank you to those who came before us for all of the groundbreaking, trailblazing work, and a reminder too that we need to continue to work on and I want to thank everyone and commit to continuing to work together to make sure that our community is a community for all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to our board president for allowing me to speak on this. I know I may look different than everybody else up here, but we are brothers and sisters, and I grew up in the East Side. I know that we are part of this wonderful fabric of our community. We look so different. I'm obviously Latina and I'm Mexican American. I was telling Supervisor Young earlier, I did get adopted by the Filipino community, and I do have an adoption certificate that they gave me. So I think that counts. They're my Kaibigans. I'm happy to represent my community as former council member, now as a supervisor. I have one of the largest Indian American communities in my district, but I also have a very significant Vietnamese and, of course, Chinese American community. And I represent that and reflect that also in my teams. I had the first chief of staff at the city of San Jose that was Vietnamese American. And of course, the person taking my picture now, David No, Vicky Lam, they're all part of my family, and they help me stay connected to our very wonderful and precious Asian American community, especially to our Vietnamese community. So happy Heritage Month. Thank you for integrating and allowing us to be part of that celebration. Thank you.
And I'm absolutely so proud to have these amazing colleagues to serve alongside. And I just want to say how rare that really is, because just our neighboring San Mateo County history has never had an Asian American serving on that county Board of Supervisors. Los Angeles County, with 11 million people to date, still have not had a single Asian American serving on the Board of Supervisors. Just saying, right? So that's just, what we have here is really unique, and that there's still a lot more work to do, obviously, in this area. And in that, I'm going to ask to invite Brian and Hani here to also share a few words, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here on behalf of Brian, so I'm not sure. Well, good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of the Social Services AAPI Employees Committee and our community, thank you to the Board of Supervisors for this meaningful proclamation honoring Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. To be seen, remembered, and acknowledged in this way matters deeply. It affirms that our stories, rooted in resilience, sacrifice, and contribution, are an essential part of Santa Clara County's identity. From the early days of the Valleys of Heart's Delight, where AAPI families labored in the fields, cultivated the land, and helped build the region's agricultural foundation, to today's global innovation hub of Silicon Valley, our community's legacy is woven into every chapter of this county's history. From farm to table, from small family businesses to world-changing technologies, AAPI contributions have helped shape both the character and the future of this region. We also recognize that this journey has never been walked alone. our progress has been strengthened through partnership and collaboration with other communities, standing alongside Black, Latino, Indigenous, and other historically marginalized groups in the shared pursuit of opportunity, dignity, and justice for all. Resilience for our community is not only a reflection of the past, it is an ongoing commitment. It lives in a continued struggle for equity, inclusion, and belonging, not just for AAPI communities, but for every community seeking to be fully seen, heard, and valued. This recognition is not only about honoring the past, but also about uplifting the present and inspiring future generations. It sends a clear message that our histories will not be forgotten, our voices will not be overlooked, and our contributions will continue to be valued. Thank you for recognizing the enduring legacy, cultural richness, and ongoing impact of the AAPI and Hawaiian Islander community in Santa Clara County.
Good afternoon. My name is Hani Tran, and I'm the director of our county's Vietnamese American Service Center. Thank you, President Lee, as well as our Board of Supervisors, for the invitation to participate in today's proclamation. This celebration is about honoring and uplifting the culture, heritage, and contributions of our community who are of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander descent. I'm very fortunate to work at the VASC, where Vietnamese heritage and culture is not only celebrated, but embedded in our design and services. The green rice terraces and fields are imprinted in all 3 floors, a nod to Vietnam's agricultural heritage. Our programs and services are tailored to meet the critical needs of our communities, and our staff serve our community in their language, honoring their mother tongue. The VASC is a symbol of our county organization's commitment to celebrating our community's heritage, culture, and joy, not just this month, but every day. I wanted to share a couple of activities the VASC team took part in to celebrate AA and HPI month. On Friday, May 15th, VASC staff Tai Phuong Wing participated in Horace Mann Elementary School's Read-In event. Tai joined a group of excited TK to first grade students and read them a book spotlighting the Vietnamese American refugee experience. On Saturday, May 16th, the VASC outreach team tabled at the South Bay AA and HPI Heritage Festival at History Park, which President Lee mentioned earlier, to share helpful resources, including about our upcoming VASC Health Fair. And Cron 4 News also featured VASC for their AAPI Heritage Month series. Their team joined VASC for a day to see our center in action and highlighted what the VASC means to the community. Thank you again to President Lee for the opportunity to share VASC's work and for the opportunity to join my county colleagues for this proclamation.
Well, thank you both for your being here and your uplifting messages and for your leadership and service to our community continually. So for that, we'll go ahead and get a picture taken. So we'll flip backwards, flipping this way, inviting all our colleagues and second team to come back down, join us. You got to be in the middle with the plaque. Okay, next we are also recognizing the Internal Audit Awareness Month, which is a time to highlight the essential role internal auditors play in strengthening accountability, transparency, and good governance in both public and private sectors. At this time, I'd like to invite Albert Beltran Jr. and Adnan Rahim. And our new board member to please join us at the dais here. You see, internal auditors are part of a global profession represented by the Institute of Internal Auditors, IIA, which was founded back in 1941, and now includes more than 265,000 members in over 170 countries. The work forms a critical foundation for ethical and transparent operations. Internal auditors help ensure compliance with laws and regulations, safeguard the public trust, and support sound decision-making across our government. The IIA also plays a vital leadership role in shaping national and international policy on emerging issues, including artificial intelligence, cryptocurrency governance, and data privacy. The standards are recognized in California law and serve as a statutory benchmark for internal auditors throughout the state. Here in our region, the San Jose IIA chapter represents more than 750 professionals serving at every level of government. Internal Audit Awareness Month gives us an opportunity to acknowledge the value of these professionals bring to our organizations, helping us operate more effectively, manage risk responsibility, and maintain the public's confidence. And I'll read the final clause of this proclamation. Whereas the Internal Audit Awareness Month provides an opportunity to recognize the essential role of internal auditors play in strengthening accountability, improving operational effectiveness, safeguarding public trust, and supporting good governance across both public and private sectors. And now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 as Internal Audit Awareness Month in the County of Santa Clara. At this time, I'd like to invite Adnan Rahim, one of IIA's North American Board of Directors and chapter member, to share a few words. Come on in.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Adnan Rahim, and I represent the Global and North American Board of the IIA, and I'm a proud member of the San Jose chapter of the IIA. Thank you, President Lee, and the entire County Board of Supervisors for today's recognition of the profession of internal audit. As some of you may know, as internal auditors, we work behind the scenes to provide assurance on the effectiveness of a company's operations. Along those lines, we work tirelessly to make sure companies, businesses, and governments operate with full transparency and accountability. I'm sure all of you would agree that these principles are valuable in how we conduct our business and how our economies and our communities thrive. So thank you. Today's recognition by you of the work that we do as internal auditors is an honor, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, I ask everybody to turn around, and then my colleagues and the executive board come down here. We get our nice picture. Okay, today we're also proud to recognize the Emergency Medical Services Week, a special time each year when we honor the dedication, skill, and compassion of our EMS professionals who keep our community safe. EMS Week reminds us of the essential work these teams perform every day, 24/7. Work that protects lives and strengthens the public's trust in our emergency response system. At this time, I'd like to invite our EMS leaders and staff to please come join us at the dais. Nick Clay, our EMS Agency Director, Sarah Voss, Dustin Gonzalez, Richard Alameda, Mike Cabano, Tony Doe, and anybody who wants to join, please come on up. Yes. Well, EMS represents one of the most important parts of public safety and healthcare. Our system includes physicians, nurses, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, law enforcement, dispatchers, administrators, medical volunteers, and support staff, all working together to deliver high-quality and time-critical care. EMS professionals stand ready 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They respond to medical emergencies, traumatic injuries, disasters, and complex public health challenges. They work under tremendous pressure, often placing themselves in harm's way, and provide not only life-saving care, but also essential reassurances to families in the hardest and most difficult times. This year's National EMS Week theme, Improving Outcomes Together, speaks to the partnerships that make strong emergency medical systems possible. That includes EMS agencies, hospitals, public safety organizations, community groups, and local governments, all working collectively to improve emergency care and strengthen the patient's outcomes. Right here in Santa Clara County, our EMS workforce exemplifies excellence through continuous training, innovation, and a commitment to community engagement. We are fortunate to have a system that is reliable, resilient, and staffed by highly dedicated professionals. And I'll now read the final clause of the proclamation that says, whereas EMS Week provides a dedicated opportunity to recognize and express gratitude for the critical role that EMS professionals play in protecting local public health and safety and performing daily life-saving work. Now, therefore be resolved that the Board of Supervisors in Santa Clara County hereby proclaims that the week of May 17 to 23, 2026 as an Emergency Medical Services Week. At this time, I'd like to invite Director Nick Clay to share a few words. Oh, actually, sorry.
So I'm not Nick Clay, but my name is Mike Cabana. I'm the Assistant Director and Assistant Chief of the EMS Agency. Honorable members of the Board of Supervisors, members of our County Executive Leadership Team, our community, on behalf of the thousands of EMS providers here in Santa Clara County, thank you for taking a moment to recognize our EMS providers and system. I'd like to take a moment to share how this year's theme, Improving Outcomes Together, is woven into the fabric of Santa Clara County's EMS system. The theme focuses on outcome-based approach. The EMS agency focuses on data-driven decisions, innovations to continuously advance the delivery of care here in Santa Clara County. This vision is shared with all our EMS providers as we drive a collaborative approach to continuous quality improvement. This year's theme of EMS Week highlights one of the most important elements of EMS, the team-based approach. Every day, on every call, providers from different agencies work together to deliver exceptional care to every resident and every visitor in Santa Clara County. In a large, complex EMS system, such as Santa Clara County, it is a coordinated approach that ensures equity in the delivery of EMS care. In closing, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all of the EMS providers here within Santa Clara County who consistently sacrifice their time with friends and family. It's for the missed birthdays, the missed anniversaries, and the small moments in life that we all take for granted. Day in and day out, you stand ready to serve our communities and answer the call in times of need. Lastly, I want to acknowledge the invaluable contributions of our staff at the agency. Your dedication, hard work, and selflessness form the backbone of the county's EMS system, ensuring that all patients within this county receive the highest level of care. Thank you for recognizing EMS Week, for supporting the thousands of EMS providers here in the county, and for making our patients the #1 priority.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And thank you for the entire team. I'm going to ask you to come turn around, and we'll try to get that picture with my colleagues. Just stand a little bit further up, one step. Yeah, right there. Just up. Okay, today we also talk about May being the Mental Health Awareness Month, a time when communities across the nation come together to recognize mental health as a fundamental part of the overall well-being. It is also a time for us to honor the individuals, the families, and mental health professionals who work every day to support wellness, recovery, and hope in this county. To begin, I would like to invite my colleagues right here, Susan Ellenberg and Margaret Koger right here to join us. And now I'd also like to invite behavioral health staff and partners to the dais, including David Espino, mental health peer support worker, Liz Orozco, lead mental health peer support worker, Fo Bui, psychiatric social worker 1, Joanna Blandino, program manager 2, Megan Wilhelm, along with the members of behavioral health navigators team. Please come up. Yay. And thank you all for being here. See, Mental Health Awareness Month has been recognized nationally since 1949, serving as a vital opportunity to raise awareness, reduce stigma, and support the millions of individuals living with mental health challenges. In California, 1 in 7 adults and 1 in 3 children will experience some form of mental health challenge during their lifetime. Without support or treatment, individuals with serious mental illness face higher risk of homelessness, involvement with the justice system, substance abuse and use challenges, and death by suicide. That's why prevention, early intervention, counseling, and peer support and access to high-quality care are essential. Here in Santa Clara County, our internal and external partners work together to provide treatment for mental health and co-occurring substance use disorders, promote recovery, and strengthen community wellness. In 2022, this board declared unaddressed behavioral health needs as a public health crisis and committed to expanding the resources to meet those needs. Now, read the final clause of our proclamation today. Whereas the County of Santa Clara aims to celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month to eradicate stigma, extend support, and foster public education to prioritize the well-being of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim the month of May as the Mental Health Awareness Month in the County of Santa Clara. And before we invite our staff to speak, I would like to offer my colleagues, Supervisor Ellenberg and Supervisor Koger, to also say a few words, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. It is truly an honor to stand alongside my colleagues and all of these professionals to recognize Mental Health Awareness Month and reaffirm our commitment to behavioral health care in Santa Clara County. This is a moment to reaffirm our commitment to destigmatizing mental illness and substance use disorders. I'd venture to speculate that nearly every person in chambers today has experienced some form of challenge to their mental health or is close with someone who has. I am one of those people. I have struggled with depression for nearly all my adult life. I no longer think about trying to stop my medication based on the faulty premise that I should be strong enough to manage this on my own, a conclusion that would be absurd if applied to cancer or diabetes treatment. I am immensely grateful there are therapies and medications that help me and others live a full life and for me to stand before you today. But we are talking about more than personal crises. 4 years ago, Supervisor Lee and I declared mental health and substance use disorders a public health crisis. And since then, we have worked strategically to increase treatment capacity, expand crisis response services, improve access to substance use treatment, and strengthen school-based behavioral health support. As of today, we've expanded our capacity by 269 inpatient treatment beds, which translates towards serving an additional 3,000 patients every year and brings us halfway to our 2030 goal. At the same time, we know significant challenges remain. Counties across California are being asked to do more with fewer flexible resources, even as demand for services continue to grow and costs continue to rise. These challenges place real pressure on the programs people rely on, especially prevention and early intervention services that we know help people before they reach a point of crisis. Mental Health Awareness Month matters. Again, it is about reducing stigma, encouraging people to seek support, and reminding our community that mental health care is health care, and substance use disorder is a treatable medical condition, not a moral failing. This year in particular, Mental Health Awareness Month must also be about advocacy. The governor's May revision of the budget proposes to make the highly successful mobile crisis response team model an optional service, meaning those services will not be reimbursed by Medicaid at current levels. I encourage everyone listening today to reach out to your state representatives, share your own experiences if you have them with mobile crisis responders, and tell them this service must continue to be a covered expense. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize the providers, advocates, family members, and behavioral health professionals who work every day to care for individuals struggling with serious mental illness or substance use disorders. This county remains committed to building a behavioral health system that is compassionate, accessible, and responsive to the needs of our community. We will continue advocating for the resources necessary to ensure that residents can access the care and support they deserve in the moment they need it. And that is my promise as well.
Good afternoon again. I'm Margaret Abekoga, a supervisor for District 5, and I wanted to begin by acknowledging why this conversation is so urgent. Earlier this year, our community was shaken by the tragic death by suicide of a student in Palo Alto, and the community has been, frankly, experiencing a cluster. In such a very difficult time, I'm grateful to stand with all of you today to continue raising awareness for mental health. This issue is personal to me as well. I've shared my story about my daughter who struggled with mental health challenges, and I consider myself lucky that she felt safe enough to open up to me. I hope every parent and every adult in this room can create a safe space for young people. They simply want us to listen without judgment. Recently, I hosted a joint youth mental health town hall with Assemblymember Gail Pellerin of District 28. Many young people shared that they are often reluctant to go to an adult or a parent with their most vulnerable thoughts. I heard loud and clear how important peer-to-peer support is. Sometimes having an older brother or sister figure who understands what they're going through makes all the difference. So on one hand, I ask every adult here to practice vulnerability. On the other hand, I also ask our youth to step up for one another. All of this is happening at a time when the county is facing a dismal budget reality due to the federal government's H.R. 1 bill. This is happening in a county where many residents speak a language other than English or have a disability and need culturally competent, accessible care. Our mental health system must meet those needs. And by system, I mean an entire ecosystem. 85% of behavioral health services in our system are delivered by community-based organizations. That means the real opportunity lies in bringing our nonprofit partners, many of them who are here today with us, improving programs and diversifying funding through private insurance billing, Medicare, and other sources so we are not relying solely on county dollars and Medi-Cal. Residents look to the county as the primary mental health provider, and the county does not need to run every program to be successful. I've toured many facilities, and our nonprofits are incredibly efficient and effective. In tough budgetary times like these, our job is to preserve what works, fix what doesn't, and bring the community into the process. And that's how we protect mental health programs in the face of these challenges. I wanted to introduce my guest today, to ask him to say a few words, David Mineta, the CEO of Alum Rock Counseling Center, who's here with us today, has spent nearly 3 decades improving the behavioral health landscape, championing integrated care, reducing stigma, and providing client-centered, culturally competent services. ARCC was founded in 1974 by community members who saw that Spanish-speaking families in East San Jose were falling through the cracks of our legal, educational, and health systems. For 52 years, ARCC has provided culturally responsive, linguistically appropriate counseling and support. Today, ARCC serves more than 4,500 young people and families every year. Thank you for joining us today, David, and would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Supervisor Abe-Koga. Good afternoon, Board of Supervisors, President Lee, County Administration, the rest of the board. First, I just want to say thank you to Supervisor Ellenberg and Supervisor Abe-Koga for the courage of standing here in front of you all and online viewers and talk about their own personal mental health connections to mental health issues. It is that type of courage and courageous discussion that we would ask all families to have, because we know this resides in all families. I would also like to thank you for being asked to receive the Mental Health Awareness Award proclamation from the board. I especially want to appreciate the nod as Alum Rock Counseling Center prepares to transition into lead agency status from the County Behavioral Health Services at Alcove Palo Alto. We are privileged to continue the hard work of Alcove Palo Alto and chart a path forward for youth in Palo Alto and beyond, including Mountain View and Sunnyvale. Thank you to Supervisor Abe-Koga and President Lee for their support of this effort. But I also want to accept this proclamation on behalf of the Behavioral Health Communities Association. Ana Fernandez is our board president, and Elisa Koff Ginsborg, our executive director. Thank you, we're joined by colleagues from BHCA and from Alum Rock. This board and generations before you have supported behavioral health such that Santa Clara is a model for county specialty behavioral health across the state. I don't know if folks know that, but behavioral health in Santa Clara is considered top of line. And it's important for me as a social worker, but also as a consumer of services as well. Our family, I have to say, on both sides of our family, including my wife's family, I feel like we covered the gamut for behavioral health services. And I say that proudly, right? Like any other health condition, as Supervisor Ellenberg said, we should be able to raise our hand and get care very early as a child, all the way through our senior years. And for some reason, it's very difficult to raise your hand for that. I appreciate this board for all their work to dispel that stigma. So we are at a moment, for multiple reasons, we are a moment of consequence right now. Funding is reducing while demand and acuity levels seem to be increasing. The system itself is navigating some of the most significant structural changes in my 30-year career. If not done carefully, I fear large parts of the system could really have trouble, leaving many without necessary behavioral health services. And I want to appreciate again our Board of Supervisors and our county administration for struggling and talking to the communities to figure out a way through this as best we can. So at this precise moment, May 2026 is Mental Health Awareness Month, may be the beginning of the next chapter of Santa Clara County's behavioral health journey. And having stood with my two very tall colleagues back in 2022 when they declared an emergency, a behavioral health emergency, I want to tell you 2026 is the next pivotal moment. And we will need everybody's help to make sure that behavioral health does not get left behind again from the rest of health. So for yourself, for your kids, for your parents, all your family, your neighbors, please stand up with all of us. Thank you all very much. Thank you to the board.
Thank you very much, David. And I will ask everybody also turn around and we'll go get our photo together. This way, facing this way.
You and Greta are matching again.
Resource Parent Appreciation. May is a very busy month. It's also a month we also celebrate the Resource Parent Appreciation, a time to honor the extraordinary individuals and families who open their homes to children and youth who need safety, support, and love. This month reminds us how essential resource parents are in creating stability for young people who have faced trauma, uncertainty, or loss. Their dedication strengthens the very core of our community and ensures that every child has a chance to feel seen, valued, and cared for. And I'd like to invite my colleague, Supervisor, Vice President Sylvia Arenas, to please join me. Yes. And I'd also like to welcome Denise March and any staff members from the KAFPA to the dais. Your tireless work supports both our youth and the resource families who care for them, and we are grateful for your service. Please come up. See, today's recognition draws from a long history of honoring families who step up for children. The first presidential proclamation acknowledging the National Foster Care Month was issued back in 1988, establishing a national tradition of recognizing the vital role of caregivers. Here in Santa Clara County, we continue this commitment by celebrating the resource families who provide safe, nurturing homes to children and youth who have experienced abuse or neglect. These families offer not only physical safety, but also emotional support, helping children stay connected to their culture, heritage, and community. They give young people the chance to grow in stable, loving environments where they can heal and thrive. Resource Parent Appreciation Month also raises awareness of the ongoing need for more caring homes and recognizes the many partners and organizations working to support children and youth in care. And at this time, I'll read the final whereas from the proclamation that says, whereas the County of Santa Clara joins others across the country in honoring resource families and raising awareness about the need for more resource family homes in Santa Clara County for children, and commends the contributions of county partners and other organizations that support the care of children and youth who are victims of abuse and neglect. And now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim May 2026 as a Resource Family Appreciation Month. Now, I'll ask Supervisor Arenas to also say a few words, please.
I'm going to say something really quick, I promise. I'm back. This time we're going to celebrate our resource parent, and for the rest of the remaining month and from the beginning of May, there's a deep and sincere appreciation for our present and our past resource parents and families who open up their home and their heart to a child who needs safety, stability, and love. And I just want to say to them that we recognize how you step forward in moments when children are facing some of the hardest experiences of their lives. And you offer them something priceless. It's a chance to feel safe again. You're the steady hands that hold our kids through uncertainty. When a child arrives carrying trauma, fear, or loss, you meet them with understanding. You help them rebuild trust. You help them and process healing. You help them imagine a future where they can thrive. And here in this county, we are very proud of the outstanding care and support that our foster parents provide to children and their families. Being a foster parent is more than just providing a safe shelter to a child in need. It is the integration of children into their own family life. And sometimes it looks just like sitting quietly next to them during a meltdown and saying, I'm not going anywhere. Or showing up at a school play, even if they have one line. Or it's letting them keep the hallway light on because nightmares still feel scary. To every resource parent here today, thank you for being a source of hope. Thank you for believing in our children before they believe in themselves. Thank you for giving them the stability they need to grow, to heal, and to dream again. And once again, to our current and past and future resource parents, and I hope we grow this pipeline, you are changing the lives, one child, one moment, and one small act of love at a time. I want to ask Denise Marchou to continue to provide us with that support and care and leadership that you have done so in the past for so many, many years, and ask you to share with us some thoughts. Everyone, Denise Marchou.
Thank you so much. I've been doing this for a long time, probably since a lot of you, before you were born. I've been part of the foster care community since 1988, which really ages me, but it's been a wonderful community to be a part of. As you know, you don't hear about many of the good things that foster parents do. By the time you hear about a resource family, there's something tragic that has happened, or something that we really don't want to even talk about. But like in every walk of life, things happen. But what I want to do today is give you a little bit of touch, a little bit of idea. In order to know what a resource parent really does, you need to know about the children that we care for. So I have a few little scenarios. I could probably tell you hundreds of them, but I've narrowed it down to just a few. The first one I want to tell you about is little Jessica. And Jessica came into foster care when she was very tiny. She actually came to a home as a hospice home because she only had 3 chambers in her heart. That family loved that child. They loved her and have actually worked miracles because Jessica is 12 years old and in the 7th grade. So, absolutely amazing. Then there was James, and James was born addicted to heroin, meth, and cocaine. But he's in a loving, dedicated, adoptive home, and he's doing okay. He struggles, but they are so dedicated to this child that I think he's going to be okay. Another child, there's 2 little ones. There was Callie and Annie, and they came into care years ago. Was with a foster home. Mom got herself clean. She got herself ready for those children to come back after about 10 months. The 2 little girls went to mom, but stayed in contact with their foster mom, which is what we hope happens with these children so that they can build their community of support. 3 months later, mom relapsed. But before she did, she brought those girls back to that foster mom and said, I just can't do this right now. So the foster mom took those little girls back. Another 10 months went by, and now it's been 20 years, and those little girls are in college. Mom is doing well, and they've had that connection. Just amazing. That's what foster parents are all about, and that's what we do. Another one is a young man who had a little girl. The mom had left, and he knew he couldn't take care of this baby. He knew it, and so he was willing to let this child go, which is really hard, right? To acknowledge that as a young person and know that you can't take care of this child. Well, I'll tell you, the adoptive mom has embraced him, and he is a part of that little girl's life and still is able to see her, participate in birthday parties, and just amazing what this mom is able to do and is willing to do for this young man. So we celebrate him too, and this mom that's taken him. And then I have one more little girl, and she's mine. We actually fostered about 120 children and adopted 5. And, oh, really? Thank you. But so many do much more than we did. We had the privilege of adopting this one little one. And she came into care when she was 7 years old. And she has a rare form of dwarfism. And when she came in, she had emergency surgery because her little syndrome curls up. And her head had curled up so bad that it was breaking her airway. And she had to be rushed in for emergency surgery where they put rods in her neck. A foster mom was wonderful enough to take her in her home where she had that big metal halo on her head with screws in her head. And this foster mom loved this child, took care of her. The little girl thrived in her home. A year later, we were able to take Alyssa into our home. And I want you to know that she is graduating from 8th grade this year and will be going to high school next year. She is in a wheelchair because she's had many, many other issues going on. But what a wonderful gift for us and that child. So I hope that gives you a little glimpse of some of the children that we care for. And birth parents, too. It just doesn't end with the child in our home. We try to, as best we can, to reach out to the birth parents and help them heal, as our children are healing, too, in our home. So this month, recognizing our families is absolutely important, because you need to know what they do. You need to know that your neighbors and the people in your church and your community are these unselfish, giving families that give themselves every single day. I had 5 birth children. They gave so much to the children in our home, but they have learned lessons that no one else can learn. In fact, one of my daughters also adopted a medically fragile child, so I'm very proud of Annalisa. So it continues, and that's kind of how it is with families. Anyway, thank you, Board of Supervisors. Thank you, President Lee, for this, and all of you here for listening to my stories. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So today we also gather to recognize a profoundly meaningful occasion, the Family Reunification Day. May 29th is the day when we honor the strength, resilience, and love that bring families back together. Reunification represents hope, healing, and the belief that every child deserves the love, security, and stability of being with their family whenever possible. At this time, I'd like to also invite my colleagues, Vice President Sylvia Arenas, to please join me. And I'd also like to welcome the members of the Family Reunification Day Committee to the dais. So thank you for the work that you do every day to support the children, parents, and families throughout their journeys. Coming up. Come on up. See, Family Reunification Day hold deep meaning in our community. The proclamation reminds us that reunification is the preferred outcome for children in foster care because a permanent, loving home with family provides the strongest foundation for growth and development. Each year, thousands of children across the nation are safely reunited with their families. And behind every one of those reunifications is a tremendous amount of work and collaboration. Here in Santa Clara County, we recognize that successful reunification requires the dedication of parents, extended family members, social workers, resource families, service providers, attorneys, courts, and community partners. It takes time, it takes commitment, and an enormous amount of heart. Since 2010, National Reunification Day has served as an opportunity to honor that effort and to raise awareness of how important reunification is to a child's long-term well-being. This year marks Santa Clara County's 15th Family Reunification Day, celebrated through a partnership that includes the Superior Court, the Department of Family and Children's Services, the Dependency Advocacy Center, Legal Advocates for Children and Youth, Child Advocates of Silicon Valley, and the Office of County Council. The collective work is what makes reunification possible for so many families in our community. At this time, I'll read the last whereas from the proclamation. Whereas, through a collaboration between the Superior Court, the Department of Family and Children's Services, Dependency Advocacy Center, Legal Advocates for Children and Youth, Child Advocates of Silicon Valley, and the Office of County Council, Santa Clara County is celebrating its 15th Family Reunification Day on May 29, 2026, to acknowledge the unique efforts of our local families and communities. And now, therefore, be resolved that the Board of Supervisors of County of Santa Clara does hereby proclaim May 2026 as a Resource Family Appreciation Month. Now, I'd like to ask Vice President Rennes to say a few words.
Thank you. There's a theme, and that is really based on our children and our families and the wonderful work that our system provides for everyone. This is particularly a beautiful day. The Family Reunification Day is. And I remember the last time that I attended last year, Wendy, you had just, you came at the very end, and not because you missed almost the whole event, but you were there. And I've got to say, I admired that you drove. I think you came from your son's graduation from UC Davis all the way back to San Jose because you didn't want to miss it. And even if you just got to celebrate the last 5 minutes or 15 minutes, however long it was, but I just thought that is what family reunification is. It is such a celebration that people are willing to drive that many hours and take time that they should maybe they get to choose where they go. And Family Reunification Day is actually, it fills the spirit and it fills your heart with joy and love. And I've had the privilege of witnessing some of these reunification days and interacting with families and get a chance to talk to some of the kiddos. And it just is one of my favorite celebrations. And I know that our families involved in our child welfare system often just face really complex and compounding challenges. It's generational trauma, generational violence, substance abuse, mental health, intimate partner violence. And facing those challenges day to day, as you heard previously from one of our resource parents, is tough, right? And then being able to experience that isn't easy. So you need a whole network of people supporting you and rooting for you to really cross that finish line. That's what family reunification is. And it doesn't happen by accident because these are all parents that are working really hard, and it's painful and it's courageous work, and they have to show up to classes, to court hearings, to treatment programs. There's so much that's being demanded of them, while at the same time confronting their own trauma, learning new skills, and then just keep going even though the world is doubting that you're going to make it. That kind of resilience deserves to be seen and celebrated. And to the parents who reunify, we see your strength and we see that courage and determination. And you're the proof that change is possible and that families can heal. And I love that they can be stronger than their circumstance. And I can't wait to share that with them when I see them. I want to thank the people behind me who are folks who make this day happen. And these are the leadership within our system and our Department of Family and Children's Services. So let's give them a big round of applause, everyone.
Thank you, Supervisor Lee. Thank you, Supervisor Arenas and the rest of the board. Wendy Kanirash from Department of Family and Children's Services. I accept this on behalf of my colleagues who are not able to be here today. Judge Schwartz, Dependency Advocacy Center, Legal Advocates for Children and Youth, they are busy in the courts supporting our children right now. As you've heard from both Supervisor Arenas and Supervisor Lee, and so eloquently put by my partner in this, Denise Marchou, this really does take a community in this work in meeting families at their most vulnerable. And the fact that we are honoring both the caregivers that step up to be in community, the parents who we meet at their most vulnerable, and the other piece of the puzzle are our youth. I was just at the Hub on Saturday supporting them, really shows the complexities and the need for all of us to come together. On May 29th, we will celebrate those families that have worked so hard. We are also going to do a special honor. This year is really heartfelt that we are going to be losing Dependency Advocacy Center, so we will also be honoring them. So thank you to the board for a proclamation for them. They are a big pillar of our community. In fact, I want to honor that this 15-year celebration of Family Reunification Day was actually the idea from Annalisa Chung from Dependency Advocacy Center. She started this beautiful work and this legacy of a way to honor those in community who've worked so hard to reunify with their children, and whether they have reunified and built their support system and they're doing good, or whether they've reunified and have decided later, I need that support system, we honor them. So thank you for taking the time to honor our most vulnerable, and I accept this on their behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go turn around. Next is item H, which is adopting the proclamation declaring May 2026 as the Older Americans Month in Santa Clara County, presented by Supervisor Eleanor. Please, all yours.
Thanks. I'd like to invite Vanessa Merlano, Director of the Department of Aging and Adult Services, to come on up with your crew. It is my honor, once again, to stand before all of you today to recognize and celebrate May as Older Americans Month. There has been public attention for the last decade or so about the enormous proportion of our population who will be over 60 in the next couple of years. And as I am turning 60 tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and say, you're welcome. I will also note that all kinds of information is coming out today. I will also note that this demographic is sometimes referred to as a silver tsunami. Please stop that. We are not all silver, and I don't appreciate the analogy of an aging population to a deadly wave. While older adults often have greater needs than some other demographics, older adults also bring enormous value, experience, wisdom, and context to our communities. But enough about me. Every May, Communities across the country honor the many contributions of older adults, and here in Santa Clara County, we have so much to be proud of. We are a region rich in wisdom, lived experience, and intergenerational connections. In 2018, Santa Clara County became the first county in the nation, along with all 15 of our cities, to be recognized as age-friendly by the World Health Organization. That recognition reflects our shared commitment to building communities where people of all ages can thrive, access public spaces, stay connected, and continue contributing their talents and perspectives. We also recognize the enduring impact of the Older Americans Act, which since 1965 has helped to provide essential services and support to millions of older adults across the country. Even as the federal landscape evolves, Santa Clara County's commitment to uplifting and supporting older adults remains steadfast. Our Department of Aging and Adult Services is initiating and facilitating a local master plan on aging. This effort will be the nexus of an integrated action plan to work on the essential issues facing our county's growing number of older adults in future years. Our county's Senior Care Commission has been revitalized and re-engaged. They have an ambitious work plan for the next year that promotes a shared understanding among the multiple city commissions and entities regarding the issues prevalent in Santa Clara County. I want to thank the commission members who volunteer their time for this very valuable community service. Older Americans Month is ultimately about inclusion, about ensuring that every person, regardless of age or ability, has the opportunity to remain engaged, respected, and connected to community. So, Vanessa, to you and your team, thank you. Thank you so much for the work that you do, and would love for you to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Ellenberg. Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Merlano, and I'm the Director of the Department of Aging and Adult Services. Just want to extend so much gratitude in addition to the Board of Supervisor President, the Vice President, and the rest of the esteemed board members. It is, in fact, Older Americans Month, and it was established over 60 years ago at a time that we really needed to recognize the contributions of older adults, highlight aging trends, and reaffirm commitments to serving older adults in our communities. Here in Santa Clara, we have spent decades serving older adults through the Department of Aging and Adult Services, and each May, thank you, we celebrate the countless ways that make our county one of the best places to live and grow old. This year's theme is Champion Your Health. It focuses on prevention and wellness as cornerstones of healthy aging, which can involve regular checkups and physical activity, good nutrition, self-advocacy, especially in these troubling times, and maintaining good habits as we age. Our county programs form an incredible network of services that keep older adults healthy and safe. Older adults 60 and older are served hot lunches 5 days a week across 39 senior nutrition meal sites throughout the county. Such an incredible investment by this community. We serve these meals at senior centers and other community sites, and we offer opportunities for social connections, which is so critical as we get older. Those who have difficulty leaving their home can also have meals delivered through our Home Delivered Meals program. The Senior Nutrition Program served nearly 2 million nutritious meals to over 17,000 older adults through these programs last year. And I just want to say that I'm so excited to have had several of our elected leaders join us in sharing this message with the participants we serve, including recent Meals on Wheels ride-alongs with Senator Cortese, county leadership, thank you Greta, thank you Daniel Little, Supervisor Abe Koga, which was really, really fun. Thank you for your time today. And we're also going to be joined by Supervisors Young and Lee in some upcoming ride-alongs. These ride-alongs are a really important opportunity to see firsthand at the critical role that home-delivered meals play in supporting older adults, their health, their safety, their independence, and providing them a grounding and growing experience for all involved. So this also marks the first time in Santa Clara County that we've done Meals on Wheels ride-alongs in 15 years. So thank you for joining us this year. In addition to meeting the nutritional needs of older adults who are homebound, we also provide in-home care to older adults and individuals who are blind or disabled through the In-Home Supportive Services Program. IHSS recipients are able to avoid out-of-home placements by allowing family members, trusted friends, or qualified caregivers to provide care directly in their homes. We also keep older adults safe from harm through Adult Protective Services and the Public Administrator Guardian Conservator, protecting them all from types of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Santa Clara County continues to lead the way in keeping our older adult residents safe and healthy. After becoming the first county in the country with all cities and the county itself designated by the World Health Organization as age-friendly, now our health system at O'Connor has also begun the process to become designated as an age-friendly hospital through the Institute for Healthcare and Improvement. We encourage all of our residents, yeah, I know, such great things over at the health system. We encourage all our residents, young and old, to celebrate Older Americans Month by championing their health, by reaching out to older adults in your community and in your lives, and engaging in events and activities that center older adults, like the Senior Safari Walkabout that is happening on May 28th, all are invited, and taking an active role in encouraging healthy aging for all. And with that, I would also like to extend a huge thank you to the individuals behind me, because without their leadership in the department and their leadership in the community, we wouldn't be able to provide all the services that we do. So thank you for your time.
Hello again. So earlier we were able to celebrate AA and HPI Heritage Month, and this next proclamation is along those lines. I mentioned growing up here on the peninsula, I didn't see a lot of folks like me in the various sectors of our community, and one of that was certainly in the media. There are no Asian superheroes, no Asian pop stars, no global icons who reflected our cultures. But today, the biggest band in the world is a group from South Korea. And that's amazing. And it just shows how far we've come in 30 years. That group is BTS. And anyone here, BTS Army? Yay, we got the Army bombs. Oh, thanks for being here and celebrating. So maybe the rest of you have seen articles about the fandom known as the BTS Army, which stands for Adorable Representative MCs for Youth, is celebrating the band's arrival to the Bay Area. After 4 years where they served in the military, the last 4 years, they've reunited, and they've come back to the Bay Area for the first time in 8 years, and the first time in Santa Clara County. So as someone who's been a big fan, part of Army, I call myself Army Oma, of the group for several years, almost 10, I'm so excited to proclaim May 16th through May 23 as BTS Week in Santa Clara County. Thank you. BTS was last year in 2018 at Oracle Arena in Oakland, and this past weekend, just the last 2 days, and I was there at Stanford Stadium, they had their 2 shows, and we'll have their final show tomorrow. I think President Lee went with your daughter on Saturday? Yeah. For millions around the world, and for so many right here in Santa Clara County, this is a moment we've been waiting for. My older daughter introduced me to their music, and together we've leaned on their songs during some of the hardest moments. That's because BTS makes more than pop music. Their lyrics authentically explore mental health, friendship, loss, healing, and the journey towards self-love. I believe BTS connects with and reassures individuals on a deep and meaningful level, one that I have experienced with my daughters. That is their connection to millions, transcending language, culture, age, and origin. Santa Clara County is celebrating right alongside the BTS Army. Our transit agencies, you may have seen the VTA bus with the BTS theme. We have the routes 22 and 522 of running enhanced service from East Ridge to Palo Alto for tomorrow night's show. I've heard this past weekend there's been an uptick in ridership, which is good for transit. And Caltrain is gearing up for tomorrow's show, including 2 fully decorated K-pop themed trains with giveaways and music. This is truly a Bay Area-wide event with Santa Clara County as its heart. So thank you all for celebrating with me. It's always great to just do something in levity, but actually this has been very meaningful and ties into some of the other celebrations we've had today. So I say Borahae, which means I purple you. Purple is their color. And President Lee, would you like to say a few words too?
Absolutely, thank you.
Before we introduce our guests.
Thank you. It's certainly truly my pleasure to join my colleagues here in recognizing this special item honoring BTS, also known as the Bang Tan Boys, which literally translates to Bulletproof Boy Scouts. My daughters and I had such a fantastic time seeing them perform this past weekend on Saturday in the Stanford Stadium. And we're sure all of the K-pop fans in the area are certainly singing their hearts out to Butter, Permission to Dance, and my favorite, Dynamite. BTS is more than just a globally successful music group. They are a cultural phenomenon whose music and message have inspired millions worldwide. And actually, the word billions might even apply. Through their artistry, dedication, and positive influence, they have encouraged young people to embrace self-love, perseverance, compassion, and unity. Their achievements have helped break cultural and language barriers while highlighting the growing global impact of Asian artists and communities. BTS has brought people together across different backgrounds, generations, and countries through the universal language of music. Being there at the BTS concert, I noticed that it's about 3-to-1 for the female to male, so I know my place very well. But at the same time, as a veteran, I especially respect all 7 of them. I'm going to call up the names of them, which is Jin, Suga, J-Hope, RM, Jimin, V, and Jungkook. And for the 7 of them, they certainly can get away of not having to do their mandatory military service in the Republic of Korea Army. But instead of trying to get out of it, every one of them went to serve. Every one of them went through the boot camp. Every one of them get that buzz cut, especially with Suga. That must be hard because she's got these long blonde hairs. So it was amazing that they actually did the service. And then, of course, after serving, coming back together and, of course, creating even more music for the world. And right here in Silicon Valley, in Santa Clara County, where diversity, of course, is one of our greatest strengths, we truly recognize and celebrate this power of culture, creativity, and representation to build stronger and more connected communities. One thing I have to say, oftentimes I've traveled around the world. I've met people who would sing English songs without knowing a word what it meant, but they could utter those sounds. BTS is the first group I know from another country, come to this country, where a lot of our mono-speaking English speakers would be able to sing in Korean without knowing what they're singing. That's what the power of BTS is. So to all the BTS fans and supporters here today, thank you for your energy, positivity, and sense of community you continue to share. Thank you and congratulations.
So unfortunately, BTS couldn't make it today. But I did correspond with their management company, and fortunately, we have Deborah Cullinan here, Vice President of the Arts at Stanford University, who will be accepting the proclamation and delivering it to them. And so I just want to thank you for this opportunity. I really love the stadium. I think it's one of the best, if not the best venues are here. I know it's very special to open the stadium for, I think it's the only second time that you've done that, just to beautifully run shows. And I was just hoping you could tell us a little bit about how Stanford came to host BTS and how you made this all possible as the first concert in the United States here in 4 years.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I am not the band. I did put on a little purple, but I am just thrilled to be here. My name is Deborah. I'm the Vice President for the Arts at Stanford University. And just before I tell you a little bit about this and how it came to be, I do want to just say on behalf of the university, thank you to both of you for your support and for inviting us here to recognize this as BTS Week. At Stanford, we take really seriously what we know to be true about the role of music in our lives. And we know that there's almost nothing like it to bring people together across boundaries, across difference, to move together. And we have a beautiful stadium, as Supervisor Abe Koga says, and that stadium should be used for really special experiences, not only for our campus community, but for all of you, for the people who are living and working around us. So we think a lot about who should come to Stanford and how can we ensure that it is the most special experience that we could possibly deliver for the people in our community. Our first concert last year was Coldplay, and was absolutely fantastic. If any of you were there, this is a band that knows how to connect with people and how to bring people together in a major way. When we heard that BTS was coming back on tour and that they might consider the stadium, we knew we had to make it happen. You mentioned the Army. There are no fans like BTS Army in the world.
Yes.
The fans are as important as the band and the fans together make an experience that is unlike anything you can imagine. Some of the best, most well-behaved, most generous fans in the world. So we're really grateful to BTS Army, which is growing in the Bay Area by the minute. And for us, this takes a lot. This is not a small or easy undertaking for the university. Our Stanford Live, our performing arts organization, and our athletics departments cannot do this alone. And they really would like to express their deep appreciation to the County of Santa Clara for your partnership. And really specifically, the Department of Planning and Development and all of the planners and inspectors. It takes a lot to make a stage, to make sure everything's safe, to understand the parking, the traffic, all of those things. We're so grateful. To County Fire and our fire marshals, thank you. The Department of Environmental Health, the county's administrator's office, so many people who helped make this happen. We are grateful. So I, for one, am so proud, this may be the highlight of my career, to be accepting for the band BTS this proclamation and to be able to ensure that it is delivered to them. If you haven't seen them yet, hopefully you'll get a chance to, and I just want to thank you all and just appreciate this opportunity so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And just in case, if they want us to deliver to them tomorrow,
I'll
we
let
could
them
make time
know.
to
I will let them know. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Please come down, my colleagues, yes.
And for Army, we have little freebies outside, so please be sure to get one before you leave. And I have the next presentation. Let me see. We're honored to recognize 2 exceptional women who have received the prestigious Athena Award presented to them by the Mountain View Chamber of Commerce this past Friday at their annual celebration of leaders. This program highlights individuals whose service, vision, and dedication strengthen the fabric of our communities. It's actually a program that a lot of chambers do, not all of them, but the Mountain View Chamber has done it for many, many years. I have to say, I was fortunate to get it back in 2010, but it's the Chamber acknowledging these remarkable honorees for their contributions to Santa Clara County and beyond. We begin by recognizing Laura Casas, recipient of this year's Athena Leadership Award. Laura has been a distinguished education leader for more than 2 decades and has dedicated her career to expanding equity and opportunity. As a trustee of the Foothill De Anza Community College District since 2005 and its current vice president, she has worked tirelessly to champion access, inclusion, and student success. Her mentorship through the League of Women Voters and the Puente Project reflects her commitment to guiding and empowering emerging leaders, particularly women and underrepresented students. Her impact is felt throughout the region, and I'm so proud to honor her long-standing service and her contributions to elevating the next generation of change makers. Is Adriana Romero? So there is also a Young Professionals Leadership Award that goes to Adriana Romero. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it today. But with that, I'd like to ask Laura if you'd like to say a few words, and congratulations to you.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you so much. And I appreciate President Lee and Vice President Arenas, and happy birthday to Hellenberg, and of course my representative, Margaret Abekoga. Community colleges are such an important institution in our society. We accept everyone, and we provide a platform for everyone to become part of the middle class, part of equality and equity. And there's nothing like it in the world, anywhere. So to be a part of this institution for the last 20 years has been my highest honor. And it's, I accept this award, but it's not just for me. It's for all the administrators, the faculty, the support staff, the tutors, who, if you would come to our graduations and see the tears and know that the kids, when they graduate and have a college education, it's so emotional, it's so wonderful, and I'm so happy to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
Lisa Flores can come on up. Elizabeth Lisa Flores is retired from the county after more than 36 years of dedicated public service, with 24 of those years in the Department of Child Support Services. Beginning her career as a clerk typist, Lisa quickly moved on to the Superior Court of Santa Clara County, where she became a traffic court clerk and then promoted to a courtroom clerk less than a year later. She later transferred to the Department of Child Support Services, starting as a Child Support Officer 1, working her way up to Senior Child Support Officer. Lisa's dedication, hard work, and knowledge of the child support program have been essential in helping customers navigate the process of their cases being heard in court. She has always gone above and beyond for both our internal and external customers. During the department's transition from paper to e-filing documents, Lisa exhibited exceptional initiative and resourcefulness, playing a critical part in the training of the court unit staff to help them get up to speed with the court order e-filing. Lisa has demonstrated the county's core values of ethical conduct, honesty, integrity, respect for others, and fostering collaborative efforts to achieve the county's mission. So today, on behalf of the board and our county organization, we honor, extend gratitude, and commend Lisa Flores for her many years of dedicated public service in our community and to our county. Lisa, we wish you the very best and congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. Would you like to share a few words?
Sure. I just want to thank the Board of Supervisors and the County of Santa Clara. When I started at the age of 24, I never imagined that I would still be with the county, but I'm blessed to be able to retire at such a fairly young age. When my dad became ill with dementia and later bedbound, I had already decided in my head that once I turned 55, that was it, I was going to retire. Unfortunately, my dad passed before I could do that, but I still had it in my head that I was still going to retire and enjoy life because you just never know. And I've been blessed to have met very, very good friends that have become like family to me. So I'm very grateful, and just thank you to the Board of Supervisors and to the County of Santa Clara.
Do you have anybody call up to them? Go ahead and invite the board to come join you. Yeah, come on up.
And it is a very young age.
And if I could have, by the way, our next retirement commendation, Richard Alameda is not able to join us today, so we're going to defer that to our next meeting. But if I could have this month's Employee Excellence Award winners please come and join me up here. So this is that time each month where we have an opportunity to recognize just a handful of our truly outstanding public servants from across different county departments. And this month we're going to be recognizing, have a seat, we're going to be recognizing employees from the Employee Services Agency, the Public Defender's Office, the Sheriff's Office, Registrar of Voters, Social Services Agency, Department of Child Support Services, Santa Clara Valley Healthcare, the Behavioral Health Services Department, and the Santa Clara County Fire Department. So the way this works is I'll call you up one at a time. Come stand over here. I will read a blurb that was provided by your department about your amazing work. Then you're going to take a step back, and President Lee will hand you your certificate. You'll take a photo with him. And then when we're done, we'll take a group photo all together. Sound good? All right. So first up, we have Angelica Perez. Angelica Perez, a senior management analyst with the Employee Services Agency, has demonstrated commitment to learning, growth, and exceptional public service during her 10 years with the county. Angelica joined the county in 2015 as a human resources assistant and expanded her knowledge after transferring to the Employee Benefits Department. She later joined the ESA Data Support Team, where she developed deep expertise in workforce data extraction, analysis, and dashboard development. Her promotion to management analyst in 2019, followed by senior management analyst in 2023, reflect her strong leadership and exceptional work. Today, Angelica plays an important role on the workforce data analytics team, managing ESA data support administration and security access, compiling responses to public records requests, managing ad hoc data needs, and maintaining dashboards that support business needs. Angelica is known for her high-quality work, thoughtful analysis, and collaborative approach. She's dependable, proactive, and respected for her professionalism and integrity. Congratulations. Danishka Thompson. Danishka is a senior paralegal with the Public Defender's Office. She is a tremendous asset to the office, excelling in every paralegal assignment she has received. She consistently approaches her work with a strong learner's mindset and embodies her team's goal of developing well-rounded, highly capable staff. Throughout her rotations, including court arraignments, case management, felony trials, and probate, she's embraced new challenges with enthusiasm and has performed at an exceptional level. In each assignment, she identifies opportunities to improve efficiency and strengthen support for attorneys while enhancing the quality of service delivered to clients. Danishka understands the importance of serving vulnerable populations, navigating a complex justice system, and demonstrates unwavering commitment to high-quality, client-centered services. She also contributes to broader departmental initiatives, such as participating in the department's Equity Committee. Outside her professional work, Danishka is a volunteer with the Guadalupe River Park Conservancy, and among her travel goals, she hopes to one day take a boat tour of Fingal's Cave and see a Scottish wildcat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
John Rizkala. Sergeant John Rizkala has been with the Sheriff's Office for 24 years. Since 2024, he has served as the coordinator for the Field Training Program, an intensive 5-month foundational training in which Police Academy graduates learn policies, procedures, and hands-on skills to function as a deputy. Throughout this assignment, Sergeant Rizkala has had 82 trainees participate in the program and managed over 35 field training officers. Sergeant Rizkala has been instrumental in maintaining a strong training program that fosters a positive environment for each trainee's growth and development. He's responsible for managing training officers' schedules, analyzing optimal pairings for trainee-trainer mentorship, and tracking daily observational reports for each trainee. Sergeant Rizkala is also the commander of the Sheriff's Office Bomb Squad. The Bomb Squad responds to calls for service both within and outside the county to keep our communities safe. His dedication and passion for the Bomb Squad unit's success were evident during Super Bowl planning when he worked tirelessly to secure additional equipment for the unit. He's been an invaluable leader and mentor at the Sheriff's Office. Thank you for your service. Rong Chien. As the departmental fiscal officer at the Registrar of Voters, Rong Qian has developed innovative solutions to help the ROV streamline workflows, reduce costs, and utilize resources for maximum efficiency. She's also been instrumental in pursuing cost recovery for special elections and other election services provided to outside jurisdictions. Rong's a role model at ROV for leading with emotional intelligence, taking the time out of her busy schedule to focus on providing steady and calm leadership in every situation. Rong empowers her staff to make positive changes in the workplace and develop themselves both personally and professionally. Rong takes action before problems get bigger and always supports staff when they need help. She also works closely with other departments to keep things running smoothly. Her leadership is thoughtful, organized, and always in line with the county's goals. Her positive attitude, exemplary work ethic, effective problem-solving strategies, and strong commitment to public service make her a valued county employee, mentor, and role model for everyone around her. Congratulations. Remy Legaspi. I think Remy might not have been able to join us, but I'll go ahead and read this blurb quickly. Remy's an exceptional professional whose dedication, experience, and genuine kindness have strengthened the social services team for the past 35 years. Her commitment to excellence is evident in everything she does, and she consistently embodies the values and principles that guide SSA's work. As a budget manager, Remy navigates complex financial demands with remarkable skill and insight. She brings deep knowledge of fiscal processes, county practices, and program needs, enabling her to support departments with accuracy and clarity. Even amid tight deadlines, shifting priorities, or significant fiscal challenges, Remy remains patient and solution-oriented. Remy collaborates with staff at all levels and treats everyone with respect and kindness. Her approachable demeanor makes colleagues comfortable in seeking her insight on challenging or technical matters. Remy never hesitates to answer questions, explain processes, or step in to support others when workloads intensify. Remy consistently goes above and beyond to ensure financial decisions support the agency's mission to serve, empower, and transform. Her knowledge, experience, and heart for public service make her an invaluable asset and role model, and we thank her for her service. So congratulations to her. Cynthia Serrano. Cynthia Serrano is a Child Support Officer 2 with the Department of Child Support Services. She's consistently stepped forward to serve where she's most needed since she joined the department in 2019. When the department began stratifying caseloads to better support Spanish-speaking customers, Cynthia immediately volunteered to work on the entire Spanish-speaking caseload for her team. Her willingness to do so ensured that families could understand complex legal processes in the language most comfortable for them, which ultimately leads to better outcomes and stronger trust. Cynthia's commitment didn't stop there. She volunteered to support outreach efforts in local jails, helping incarcerated patients navigate services, understand procedures, and access crucial information. She also became a certified Spanish-speaking notary in 2026, an achievement she pursued through her own initiative. Alongside these responsibilities, she participates in community events, such as the Veteran Stand Down, and is always ready to lend a hand where needed. Cynthia is deeply committed to the well-being of the families she serves, providing vital information, resources, and education with caring and empathy. Congratulations. Deanne Toe. Diane Toe has been a pharmacy technician at the VMC Inpatient Pharmacy since February 2025. She's a diligent, hardworking, and efficient employee who consistently performs at a high level across all pharmacy practice areas, demonstrating exceptional quality and integrity. In 2008, Diane took on the administrator role for the automated medication dispensing cabinet system and quickly became an expert. She troubleshoots system issues and collaborates with nursing staff, physicians, and the vendor to resolve them. During the COVID surge, Diane quickly developed multiple system devices, responding to urgent short notice requests and consistently meeting demanding turnaround timelines. Diane played a key role in upgrading the system in 2016 to 2017, as well as assisting with the conversion when O'Connor Hospital, St. Louis Regional Hospital, and Regional Medical Center joined the county health system. Diane actively supports the implementation of new technologies, including RFID and a medication labeling system in the operating room suites. She also performs quality assurance for controlled substances reconciliation at SCVMC. During her free time, Diane enjoys listening to music and traveling with friends and family. Thank you for your service. Sandra Reynoso. Sandra Reynoso is a licensed psychiatric technician in the Behavioral Health Services Department, providing coverage for 2 clinics, the Vietnamese American Services Center and the Narvaez Outpatient Clinic. Sandra's exceptional dedication was instrumental during a staffing shortage when she stepped in to provide additional support, ultimately preventing a client's hospitalization. Her clinical awareness and commitment to excellent service were evident in her proactive follow-up with the client and their family, providing invaluable assistance to the work of the clinician and the rehabilitation counselor. Sandra's commitment to compassionate, person-centered care has been consistently demonstrated throughout her tenure. Approximately 2 years ago, while working at another clinic, she provided Spanish interpretation for a client who had experienced severe prolonged trauma while attempting to cross the border. Recognizing the client's vulnerability, Sandra went beyond basic support to ensure the client felt seen, safe, and cared for. Through Sandra's dedication and compassionate engagement, this individual was able to heal and successfully reintegrate into the community. Sandra's actions exemplify going above and beyond in service to others. Congratulations and thank you. Jose Garcia. Jose Garcia is a deputy fire marshal who's been with the fire department for 6 years and brings a deep and varied public safety background to the job. Jose was a police officer and an emergency dispatcher before becoming a deputy fire marshal, and across every chapter in his career, Jose has demonstrated unwavering integrity and a strong commitment to doing what is right, qualities consistently highlighted by his colleagues. He approaches every interaction with respect, kindness, and professionalism, creating a positive environment for both the public and his coworkers. His work is thorough and detailed, and he is always willing to take the extra time to explain complex safety issues with clarity and patience. Jose routinely goes beyond expectations, whether volunteering to assist with Spanish translation or offering to cover the new South County District area, and he invariably takes on such additional responsibilities without hesitation. He's known for thinking creatively, proposing solutions, and uplifting others through fairness and encouragement. Jose leads by example, setting a high bar for service, teamwork, and ethical conduct. Thank you for your service. Let's give a huge round of applause to all of this month's award winners. I invite the board to come join me. We're going to turn our backs and take a group photo.
Congratulations, everyone.
All right, at this point, we come to the end of our supervisors meeting today, and we'll adjourn our meeting until tomorrow, Tuesday, at 9:30 a.m. in the chambers. Thank you, everybody. Good night.